The first 90 minutes after you wake up could be the reason your muscles are disappearing faster than you think, and most people don't even realize it, not because they skipped the gym, but because of what they did or didn't do between their bed and breakfast. Let me tell you about Tom. He's 68, sharp, independent, but lately just walking up the stairs left him breathless. Not long ago, Tom could carry groceries, climb steps, even help his grandson fix a bike. Now he needs to rest halfway. He didn't have an injury, no major illness, but something was slipping away, his strength. And he had no idea why. What was happening to Tom wasn't just aging, it was sarcopenia. That's the scientific term for age-related muscle loss, and it starts earlier and moves faster than most people think. But here's the part no one tells you. You don't lose muscle just because you're getting older. You lose it because of tiny, invisible habits, especially in the morning. Your body is listening to how you wake up, what you feed it, how you move or don't move. That first hour, it's not just a routine, it's a message to your muscles: preserve or decay, build or break down. If you've ever wondered why you feel weaker some mornings, type yes in the comments. You're not alone, and what you'll learn today could change the way you start every day from now on. Today, I want to walk with you through the 5 most common morning mistakes that silently weaken your muscles after 60. And I'll show you exactly what to do instead, because the truth is your body isn't done responding, it's waiting for the right signal, and the morning is the most powerful time to send it. Number 1. Skipping protein and the muscle activation window. They say age eats away at muscle, but the truth is, for most people over 60, it's not age, it's the way your day begins. Here's something that might surprise you. Your body has a short window, just 60 to 90 minutes after you wake up, when it's most primed to build or lose muscle. Miss it, and your system quietly shifts gears, from muscle building into muscle breakdown. Every morning, your muscles are listening, but they don't respond to your to-do list or your inbox. They respond to what you feed them. And that's the problem. Many older adults begin their day with toast, coffee, maybe a bit of fruit. It feels light, simple, clean, but biologically it's empty. Your muscles are ready, begging for amino acids, and if they don't get them, they start pulling them from within, from your own muscle tissue. Let me tell you about Mary. She's 71, active and proud of staying off medications, but she was frustrated. She'd been walking daily, even lifting light weights, yet felt weaker month after month. When we looked at her routine, the issue became clear. No protein until lunchtime. By then, her body had spent hours in a catabolic state, breaking down muscle just to keep energy flowing. We made one small change: a high-protein breakfast. Greek yogurt, chia seeds, berries, and a scoop of protein powder. Within weeks, she felt steadier, her strength improved, even her brain fog lifted. Here's why: the body over 60 becomes more resistant to anabolic signals. That means it needs better timing and higher quality fuel to maintain muscle. Protein in the first hour of the day sends a powerful message: preserve, rebuild, strengthen. This is called the muscle full effect. And missing it day after day is like skipping the one class your muscles really showed up for. A simple tool to apply: within 60 minutes of waking, aim for 30-40 grams of high-quality protein. Think eggs and lentils, protein smoothies, or tofu stir-fry if you're plant-based. And for bonus benefit, pair it with light movement like a walk or gentle stretch. Protein plus motion equals muscle retention. If this already made you rethink your mornings, tell me in the comments. What's your usual breakfast? Type protein if you're ready to change it tomorrow. Now that brings us to the second silent saboteur. One that has nothing to do with food and everything to do with what your body isn't doing in those first few minutes after waking. Number 2. Sedentary start: waking without moving. You might be doing something every morning that quietly tells your muscles to shrink. And you don't even realize it, not because you're skipping the gym, but because you're sitting still. For many older adults, mornings are peaceful. You sit with the news, sip a little coffee, maybe read or pray. It feels calm. It feels right. But inside your body, something very different is happening. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your biology is primed for motion. Your body gently raises cortisol, adrenaline, and even testosterone to say, let's move. Let's repair, let's stay alive. And here's the part most people don't know. If you respond with motion, even light movement, your muscles hear that signal: stay strong. But if you sit for too long, your muscles interpret silence as surrender. Let me give you an example. Robert, a 72-year-old retired teacher, thought his routine was perfectly healthy. He'd wake up, brew some coffee, read the paper, and not move much until 10 a.m. He thought rest was good for his joints. But after a few months, he noticed his legs feeling heavier. He tripped more, felt foggy. His doctor said, "You're losing strength fast, and you're not even sick." Turns out his slow mornings were telling his muscle tissue, "You're not needed anymore. Here's what the science shows." Light morning movement activates a powerful gene called PGC1 alpha. That gene helps create new mitochondria, improves fat metabolism, and tells your muscle fibers to stay youthful. A 2021 study in Sarcopenia and muscle found that older adults who did just 10 minutes of light movement within 30 minutes of waking had better insulin sensitivity, lower inflammation, and improved muscle regeneration. Even without lifting weights, think of your body like a car. The engine needs to warm up even if you're not going far. If you sit cold for hours, things stiffen, weaken, break down faster. So what can you do? Here's a simple tool. Within 30-45 minutes of waking, do 5-15 minutes of light movement. A brisk walk around the block, standing stretches by your bed, wall push-ups, even gentle yoga or just calf raises in the kitchen. The goal isn't to sweat, it's to signal, to tell your muscles you're still needed, you're still in the game. If this idea speaks to you, tell me in the comments what's one small move you can commit to tomorrow morning. Type walk if you're ready to start simple. I'd love to hear how your body responds, because here's something most people miss. Even if you move well later in the day, your muscles are most responsive to that first signal in the morning. But movement isn't the only message your muscles are waiting for. There's another one, and this one's even easier to miss. It's not about motion, it's about hydration. Let's talk about what happens when you skip water and sip coffee instead. Number 3, dehydrated muscles, skipping water, sipping coffee. If you're over 60 and start your day with coffee instead of water, your muscles might already be losing ground before you've even moved. Sometimes it's the smallest habits that do the most harm. Take your morning beverage, for example. For years, Sandra, a 72-year-old retired nurse from Michigan, started each day with a steaming cup of coffee on her porch. No breakfast, no water, just her ritual and a few pills. She thought it was peaceful, even healthy. But what she didn't know was that her muscles were already stressed before she even took her first bite of food. Her legs felt weaker. Her walks were shorter, her balance a bit off. It wasn't age, it was dehydration. You see, during the night, our bodies naturally lose water through breathing, sweating, and urine production. When we wake up, we're already in a mild state of dehydration, even if we don't feel thirsty. And for older adults, that dehydration hits harder. Blood becomes thicker, circulation slows. Your muscles become less elastic, more fatigued, and slower to recover, especially after activity. One study in the journal Neuroscience showed that just 1–2% dehydration can significantly reduce muscle strength and increase fall risk in adults over 60. Another study from the Journal of Applied Physiology found that muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to repair and build muscle, drops when the body is even slightly dehydrated. In other words, if you're not drinking water first thing, your muscles are literally drying out from the inside. Now here's something most people don't realize. If your first liquid is coffee, especially without food or water beforehand, it doesn't count toward hydration. It might even delay your body's thirst signals. Sandra didn't know that, and she paid the price with months of muscle fatigue she thought was just part of getting old. The fix: within 15–30 minutes of waking, drink 12 to 16 ounces of water. Even better, add a pinch of sea salt or an electrolyte mix, especially if you're taking medications that affect sodium or potassium. That small shift made a big difference for Sandra. After 2 weeks of rehydrating first thing, her balance improved, her legs didn't feel as heavy, and she told me, "It's like my muscles finally woke up." So ask yourself, when was the last time you drank a full glass of water before your coffee? Try it tomorrow. Water first, coffee later. Then let me know in the comments how your body feels. Type hydrate below if you're going to make this shift with me. Now let's move on to the next mistake, and this one hides in plain sight: wearing a sweet smile. It's the kind of breakfast that tastes good but quietly chips away at your strength. Let's step into the sugar trap. Number 4. Sugar trap, breakfast that burns muscle. What if your favorite healthy breakfast was the reason your muscles are wasting away? A muffin, a slice of toast and jam, a quick banana with coffee. They seem innocent, comforting even, but here's the twist. These sugar-heavy, protein-light breakfasts can quietly sabotage your muscle strength, especially after 60. Let me introduce you to Roger. He's 68, retired, and trying to stay healthy. Every morning, he has a little yogurt with granola, sips coffee, maybe adds a bit of orange juice. No bacon, no eggs, just what he thought was a light and clean start. But over time, Roger noticed something. He was losing strength, getting more fatigued, and despite walking every day, his body felt softer, weaker. So what was going wrong? The answer is metabolic. A breakfast high in sugar and low in protein creates a biochemical storm inside your body. It spikes blood sugar and floods the system with insulin. Then comes the crash. Your cortisol rises. And cortisol, your primary stress hormone, breaks down muscle tissue when it stays elevated too long. A 2020 study in diabetes care confirmed this. Older adults who ate high-carb, low-protein breakfasts had more inflammation and reduced muscle protein synthesis, meaning their bodies weren't rebuilding muscle well even if they were exercising. Now, let's bring it back to Roger. His granola yogurt juice combo, it had almost zero muscle-preserving power. His body was being fed sugar but starved of amino acids. Here's what you can do instead. Start your day with protein first. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast. Think eggs with veggies. Greek yogurt with chia seeds. A plant-based protein smoothie with flax and berries, and pair it with healthy fats and slow-burning carbs like oats or quinoa. Avoid juice, white toast, or breakfast cereal marketed as healthy. They create blood sugar roller coasters and leave your muscles undernourished. Let me ask you this, what did you eat this morning? Was it fuel for strength or sugar that quietly weakened your foundation? If you've ever switched to a protein-first breakfast and felt the difference, share your experience below, or type "fuel smarter" in the comments to let others know you're taking action. Because small choices like these don't just feed your body. They rebuild it. And speaking of stress hormones like cortisol, let's now look at how your emotions each morning can shape your muscle health, even if your nutrition is perfect. Number 5. Mental stress equals muscle stress. What if I told you that your brain's stress could be silently stealing your muscle strength? Even if you eat well, even if you move every day. Take Joyce for example. She's 68. She walks 3 times a week, she eats balanced meals, she even takes collagen and vitamin D, but she kept losing strength. Her arms felt weak, her legs tired quicker. And no matter what she changed in her diet, her progress stalled. What no one told Joyce was this. Every morning, her body was waking up into a stress response. The news on her phone, her list of unpaid bills, the emails waiting. Her mind kicked into overdrive before her feet hit the floor. And cortisol, the stress hormone, flooded her system. Now cortisol isn't the enemy. In healthy levels, it helps us feel alert and ready. But when it spikes and stays elevated, especially in the morning, it becomes catabolic. It breaks down tissue, including muscle. A 2014 review in Frontiers in Neuroendocrinology found that sustained cortisol elevation contributes to muscle protein breakdown, impairs regeneration, and even reduces growth hormone levels. Growth hormone is already in decline with age. Add stress and that decline speeds up. And here's the twist. Cortisol also reduces insulin sensitivity. That means even if you have a high-protein breakfast, your body might not absorb and use it well. The nutrients are there, but your cells aren't listening because your nervous system is in survival mode. Have you ever felt tense, tired, and unfocused even after sleeping 7-8 hours? That could be cortisol still running the show. The first 20 minutes of your morning are powerful. They shape your entire stress response for the day. And they can either support or sabotage your muscles. So what can you do? Here's a micro habit that helps. Before looking at your phone, before the news or emails, take 2 to 5 minutes to shift your nervous system. Breathe slowly. In for 4 seconds, out for 6 to 8 seconds. Do this for 5 rounds, or write 3 things you're grateful for, or just look outside at the sky. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and rebuild mode. It tells your body, I'm safe, I'm ready, let's heal. Here's a question for you. What's the first thing you feed your mind each morning? Drop it in the comments below. Now speaking of signals, there's one more your muscles are craving each morning. And most people completely overlook it. It doesn't come in a bottle, it comes from the sky. Let's move into that next. Number 6. Morning without sunlight equals missing muscle signals. Missing this simple signal every morning could silently weaken your muscles, even if you eat right and exercise. There's something you can't bottle, can't blend, can't buy, but your body craves it the moment you wake up. Sunlight, not just for your skin or your mood, but for your muscles. Let me tell you about Jerry. He's 67, eats clean, walks every afternoon, and takes his supplements. But he still felt tired by noon. His balance was off. His doctor said he was doing everything right, so what was missing? It turns out Jerry started every morning indoors. No natural light, no real signal to his body that the day had begun. You see, sunlight isn't just brightness, it's information. When it hits your eyes without sunglasses, it tells your brain to reset your circadian rhythm. That means cortisol rises in a healthy way. Testosterone and dopamine follow, and those are key messengers for your muscles. Testosterone supports lean muscle mass in both men and women. Dopamine supports motivation. Cortisol in the right dose wakes you up, but without sunlight, your system stays sluggish, and your muscles never fully switch on. Morning light also sets the clock for your evening melatonin. That's how you sleep deeper and recover better. Vitamin D plays its role too. It's not a vitamin technically, it's a hormone, and guess where it gets activated? Through your skin under sunlight. Low vitamin D levels are linked to poor strength, slower reflexes, and greater fall risk in older adults. And many over 60 are deficient even in sunny places because we're indoors when it matters most. So what's the fix? A simple, powerful tool. Step outside within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. Spend 5 to 10 minutes in natural light. No sunglasses, don't stare at the sun, just be there. Let your biology reconnect with the sky. Want to take it further? Pair it with light stretching or a short walk. You've just given your nervous system, your muscle tissue, and your hormones the wake-up call they've been missing. That quiet connection with the sky isn't just poetic, it's biological programming your muscles have depended on for decades. When was the last time you greeted the day not with a screen, but with the sky? If you've never thought of sunlight as a muscle tool, type sun in the comments. I'd love to know your morning routine, because even if your mornings are perfect, what you do at night could quietly undo it all. Now let's look at what happens after the sun sets. Number 7, evening habits that sabotage your morning muscles. What if the real reason your muscles aren't rebuilding starts with your evening tea? You may think muscle loss only happens during the day when you're not moving enough or not eating enough protein, but the real damage, it often begins the night before, quietly, predictably, every single evening. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 67, she eats well, she walks every morning, but she kept feeling weaker, especially in her legs. She assumed it was just aging. But when we looked closer, it wasn't her morning routine that was the problem. It was her evening. You see, your body repairs muscle during sleep. That's when growth hormone and testosterone rise. It's your internal construction crew. But certain evening habits sabotage that natural recovery. One of the biggest culprits, late night eating. Having dinner too close to bedtime or snacking right before bed may seem harmless, but it delays the release of growth hormone. Your body stays busy digesting instead of repairing. That's especially true for heavier meals or those high in carbs and fat. Then there's screen time, watching TV in bed, scrolling through your phone, even just checking email. Blue light from devices suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep. Lower melatonin equals poorer sleep quality equals reduced muscle recovery. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Physiology found that even just 30 minutes of screen exposure at night reduced sleep efficiency and disrupted slow-wave sleep, the most important phase for muscle regeneration. And it's not just screens, even subtle stress in the evening, worrying, reading bad news, overthinking keeps cortisol elevated. And remember, cortisol is catabolic, it breaks down muscle. You might be lying in bed, but inside your body, the breakdown is active. So what can you do? A simple tool to apply: 2 to 3 hours before bed, avoid heavy meals. Instead, try a light protein-based snack if needed, like a small serving of Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. Limit screens for at least 30 minutes before sleep. Use warm lighting, read a calming book, or take a warm bath. And if you struggle to wind down, try 5 minutes of nasal breathing or even a warm magnesium foot soak. Small actions send big recovery signals, because here's the truth, your muscles don't grow in the gym, they grow in recovery. And sleep is your strongest supplement. What does your body go through between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m.? Is it repairing or barely keeping up? Just 3 nights of improved sleep without late-night snacks or screens can lead to sharper energy, better glucose control, and faster muscle recovery the next morning. If this is hitting home, tap that like button, and in the comments, share one evening habit you're ready to shift this week. Now let's talk about something even more hidden yet just as powerful. It's in your medicine cabinet. And it might be quietly draining your muscle strength every day without you knowing it. Number 8, medications and hidden muscle drainers. Have you ever started a new medication and quietly felt your strength slipping away? What if the pill you take to protect your heart is quietly weakening your muscles? For millions of older adults, it's not a hypothetical. It's happening every day. Let me tell you about Jim. He was 68, recently retired, and committed to walking 30 minutes every morning. But after being prescribed a statin for cholesterol, things changed. He felt tired, a little stiff, and noticed his legs didn't bounce back after even short walks. At first, he chalked it up to aging, but it wasn't age. It was myopathy, muscle pain, and weakness, a known side effect of statins. Statins deplete coenzyme Q10, a compound essential for muscle energy production. Without it, muscles fatigue faster, recover slower, and over time, shrink. And it's not just statins. Beta blockers can blunt exercise tolerance. Diuretics can drain key electrolytes like potassium and magnesium, both crucial for muscle contraction. Even benzodiazepines, often prescribed for sleep or anxiety, can lead to muscle atrophy through reduced movement and altered nervous system tone. Here's what many don't realize. Medications can silently tip your body from a muscle-preserving state into a muscle-losing one, especially if no one's watching for the signs. So what can you do? A simple tool to apply is this. Once a year or after any new medication is added, review your prescriptions with your doctor, pharmacist, or even a functional medicine provider. Ask directly, is this affecting my strength or recovery? Do I need to add anything like CoQ10 to support muscle health? Most providers focus on your numbers, blood pressure, cholesterol, but they may not bring up muscle unless you do. And if you're on statins, strongly consider supplementing with CoQ10, especially if you feel fatigued, weak, or notice slower recovery from activity. If this sparked a light bulb moment for you, comment below. Have you ever felt weaker after starting a medication? Let's share experiences so others know they're not alone. Now here's the deeper lesson. Medication management isn't just about avoiding side effects. It's about protecting your resilience. Because sometimes the most powerful signal your muscles respond to is the reason you get out of bed in the morning. And that leads us directly to the next truth, one that science is finally catching up with. Number 9, the emotion-muscle link. Why purpose builds strength. Why do some 75-year-olds hike up hills while others struggle to rise from a chair? It's not always diet, it's not always exercise. Sometimes the secret lies deeper inside the emotional wiring of the body. There's a reason why 2 people the same age with similar routines can age so differently. One slowly fades, their muscles shrinking year by year. The other seems to carry a quiet fire. They move with intention, they stand taller, they engage in life. The difference? Often it's purpose. Let me tell you about Maria. She lost her husband at 68. The grief nearly crushed her. She stopped exercising, she stopped cooking real meals, her posture collapsed, her energy drained, but one day her daughter asked her for help watching the grandkids, not once a month. Every morning, Maria said yes, and something shifted. She had to get up early again, she had to move, she had to cook. Within months, her doctor noticed something unusual. Her muscle tone improved, her balance returned, even her blood sugar stabilized. What changed wasn't just her behavior. It was her biology. Studies in psychoneuroendocrinology have shown that having a clear purpose in older age elevates dopamine and testosterone, 2 key hormones for motivation and muscle preservation. Purpose also reduces chronic inflammation, lowers cortisol, and improves sleep quality, indirectly supporting better muscle regeneration. This isn't abstract. Purpose doesn't mean saving the world. It can be as small as a garden. A promise, a morning walk with your neighbor, or showing up for someone who counts on you. Muscle is highly sensitive to what your nervous system believes. If your brain senses a reason to stay strong, your body follows. If your spirit signals that you're still in the game, your physiology responds. So here's the question I want to leave you with. What's your reason to grow stronger? Drop it in the comments. Whether it's your grandkids, a dream trip, or simply not needing help to tie your shoes, own it. You're not just building muscle, you're building momentum. And with that, let's move into the final piece of this journey. Because your mornings aren't just routines, they're messages. Let's talk about what yours are saying every day. Conclusion, your mornings are writing your future. The way you start your day is not just a routine, it's a declaration. Every sip, every stretch, every skipped or chosen habit sends a message to your body. You're either saying stay strong or slow down, and the body listens, especially after 60. Because here's the truth most people don't hear: your body isn't broken. It's responsive, still adapting, still rebuilding. You've just spent the last 30 minutes learning that morning muscle loss isn't about age alone, it's about patterns, micro-decisions repeated daily, that either feed strength or drain it. You now know the 5 most common mistakes and, more importantly, how to fix them. You've learned that skipping protein weakens the foundation, that delaying movement signals disuse, that missing hydration stiffens recovery. That sugar-heavy breakfasts disrupt your hormones, that stress, light, and even emotions can shape your muscle biology. And none of these solutions require a gym. They don't require perfection. They require intention. So here's the invitation. Don't try to fix everything tomorrow. Start with one shift. Maybe it's water before coffee, a walk before breakfast, or protein within an hour of waking. Whatever you choose, make it doable, make it daily. Let it anchor your identity, not just your schedule, because your mornings are writing your future, not in ink, but in mitochondria, in muscle fibers, in the quiet strength that lets you carry groceries, get off the floor, or dance with your grandchild at their wedding. You deserve that future, and it begins not in the mirror, but in the morning. If this episode moved you, helped you, or opened your eyes, let me know in the comments. Which habit are you going to try first? And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe so we can keep building your strength one smart step at a time, because you're not just aging, you're still building. And every morning is a chance to build something worth carrying forward. Let's do it together.